Welcome back again to another nunchuck video, or nunchaku video. Not really sure which lesson we're on because it's been so long since I've made a video. But I do have several videos lined up to do whenever I can get to them. With all the snow that hit recently, I was able to come up with a fair amount of moves, so hopefully I can get to those videos at some point soon. But in this video, I think the last one I covered was the finger roll, and before that the hand roll, so those were pretty advanced tutorials. Probably not compared to some of the later ones that are going to be coming, but so far those would have been the most advanced moves that you would have learned by now. And I wanted to take a step back and do something a little bit easier this time. And what this video is it's going to be some extra passes that I didn't cover, or I didn't cover in detail in the first passes video. So just to quickly recap, the passes you should already know are the over-the-shoulder pass, which is that one there. Okay. The hip pass, which is that one. Okay. What were the other ones? Forgotten already. I think there was only one more, which was, or no, there was two more. There was the back pass, which was that one there. And then from that one it went into the neck pass, I believe. If I remember how to do it. You can tell it's been a while. Yeah, that one. So back pass, neck pass, shoulder pass, and hip pass. Those are the four main ones you should already know. Now I'm going to cover four more in this video, and I think one of them you've already seen, which was the reverse of the shoulder pass, which is that one. Okay, so that one, instead of coming over the shoulder from the front, you're coming over the shoulder from the back. So it's the complete opposite of the shoulder pass that you've already learned. And the way to do it, again, it's pretty simple. I will say with this one, you kind of definitely need a foam or rubber set of chucks, because this one is easy to miss and hit you in the back of the head. But I'll try to teach it to where you can avoid that. Now, as I said in the regular shoulder pass, you're coming up on the same side and grabbing with the other hand underneath. In this one, you're coming across the body over the other shoulder, okay? And it usually comes from a regular shoulder pass. So if I was doing a regular shoulder pass, okay, that's a perfect time to switch direction into this pass. So that's when you would do it. Now to actually do it, again, I would start from the regular shoulder pass position, which is that. Now, the main thing to avoid in this pass is coming too far out to your side, because if you do, you're making an arc that's coming down, but when it comes back up, it's going to be coming back at an angle like this, and it's going to hit the back of your head. So if I were to come towards the outside at an angle, okay, it hits me in the back of the head. So the way to prevent that is to come as vertical as possible over that shoulder. And you can even go a little bit to the inside, because if you come to the inside, as it comes over the shoulder, it's going to be going out to the outside away from your head. Okay, so see if I can demonstrate that. So this is where my hand would be to catch. If I come to the inside, okay, it's coming more towards the outside. Okay, and even if it doesn't go all the way, okay, there it went way to the outside if you saw that. But again, you want to avoid angling it at all. You want to come as vertical as possible past your body, okay? So I'm trying to come as vertical as I can under that shoulder so that when I come up, it comes straight into the hand, okay? Okay. This one's a little bit trickier than the regular shoulder pass, okay, just because you don't have that danger of hitting your head on the way back. So practice it slow, and again, it's preferable to use foam or rubber chucks. And from here, you're just letting go of this hand, and you're trying to bring it as vertical as possible past your side. And again, as I said, if you can't get it completely vertical, it's better to come more towards the inside of your body, because that way it'll push it away from your head as it's coming back over. The thing you want to avoid the most is coming too far out to your side, because if you do that, let's see if I can slow it down. If you come too far out to the side, see how my chucks are angled here? As it comes around, it's going to be coming in this arc, which will hit you in the back of the head. So the more you can get the chucks to spin vertical, that's the ideal orientation that you want. And again, if you come more towards the inside, like that, then as it comes around, it's coming away from your head. Okay. So, again, just try one pass at a time, slowly, and just try to get it as vertical as possible. And once you've done that, try it on the other side, as vertical as possible. And it helps when you're first learning this to come, as you come over the top, to come way out here, just to give you some extra time to get that vertical pass in there. When you're doing it, you obviously don't want to do that. You just kind of want to... No, I can't even do it. Okay. You're not coming all the way out front, but that's a good kind of a learning curve, I guess, to help you get that vertical pass in there. Okay. And then once you've got it, then you can start speeding it up. Like that. And like I said, it's usually transferred from the regular shoulder roll, or the regular shoulder pass, I'm sorry. So shoulder pass, stop, and then you can reverse it. Like that. Okay. And then to get into the regular shoulder pass again, you can bounce back into that one, okay? So that's the first one, okay? Again, it's not too terribly difficult. It's just getting it down to where you can avoid smacking the back of your head. The next one is actually, it also comes from the shoulder pass, and it's actually a back pass. Which is that one, okay? And all I'm doing there is I'm starting from the basic shoulder pass, okay? And as I come to the other side, instead of catching here, I'm coming there with it. And then I can go back into the basic shoulder pass. Now, the tricky thing with this one is to know where to place your hand. And usually, right in the center of the spine is your best bet for this one. It also kind of depends on where you're holding, because if you're holding up here, you might grab towards the base of the other handle, whereas if you're holding more towards the base of the handle you're already gripping, then you could catch the top part of the other handle in the catching hand. I probably really messed that up. Again, this one is a little bit easier if you're holding more towards the base of the handle, but it can be done up here as well. And again, like I said, you're getting into it from the basic shoulder pass. So instead of coming vertical with it here, I'm coming horizontal with it, like that, okay? So if you can see the difference, here I would come vertical, but in this one I would come horizontal. And then I'm placing my hand on my spine, right in the center of my back, so that I can catch. And then I miss. And again, once you've got that, you can do either that little extra flourish in there, which is just a single basic before you go into it, or you can just go straight into it, like that. I tend to throw in that extra flourish because it looks a little bit better. And if you're using a chuck with a pair of chains, it actually sounds a little bit better. You can hear that. Okay, it makes it sound like you're doing more than you actually are, which is always a nice feature. One thing I will say to avoid doing in this move is sometimes beginners will have a tendency to angle their body to try to catch in the opposite direction, like you can see there. I'm not sure why that happens, but it is something to be aware of. Because if you watch, it's pretty obvious why you would miss, but if you're angling your body away from the chuck, obviously you're taking your hand and moving it away from where you grab. See? So that's one thing to avoid. It's kind of a subconscious thing that people do, I guess. So avoid turning your body in this move. Try to keep your body as still as you can. Okay. And that will ensure that your hand stays where it's supposed to, and the chuck can go where it's supposed to. Okay. Alright, so that's the second one. The next two are kind of a variant on each other. The first one is actually a what I'm going to call an X pass, because it forms the shape of an X in front of you with your arms. And this one is actually pretty easy. It's just, the other spins were more of on the planes of your side planes. This one's more of a frontal pass. So actually the back pass would be the back plane behind me. This one would be a front plane, okay? And it's really simple. You're just bringing the chuck up and over, and then placing your hand in that X pattern to catch it, okay? You might wonder what this one is useful for. It's mostly useful for, like, you can do like a two-handed figure eight kind of thing, or a two-handed plum flower rather. So that kind of thing. It does have its uses, but it's probably not as prominent as the other passes. Again, the way to practice this is just do it like I'm doing here, one after the other. And the hand that's grabbing is actually going in front of the hand that's passing, or the hand that's, the hand that's passing. If I were to go on the opposite side, I could do it, but then my other hand kind of has to get out of the way, as you can see there. So I can do it, but now my other hand kind of has to get out of the way of that. So it's easier to do it on the outside so that this arm is not in the way as it passes, okay? So outside, outside. Okay. And just spend some time just passing it like this, back and forth, back and forth. You can add a circle before you pass, like that. Okay, that's a pretty simple one to learn. That's the third pass. The fourth pass is actually the exact same thing, just on a different plane. So this one would be on the frontal plane. This fourth one would be kind of on the hip plane, I guess. Which would be that, okay? It's the exact same thing I did on the frontal plane. It's just this time it's horizontal, I guess. And this time you'll notice that the hand I'm catching in goes over the hand I'm passing with. Okay. So over, over. And again, this one's very good for when you're doing obviously horizontal stuff. So I could be doing, you know, that horizontal hand roll. Go into that, do some hip bounces, back again, horizontal. Okay, stuff like that. So it is useful. I think it actually looks a lot better than the front pass, like that one. But they do have their uses. Again, the main ones are going to be the ones I showed you in the previous video, but these, you can incorporate all four of these passes as well, especially the over the shoulder one like that. There are other passes you can do under the leg. I suck at these because I never practice them. I just never found really a use for them. You can go either way. If you want to practice those, the main thing to know with those passes is really the connector you're using. That whole connector needs to go under your leg, because if it doesn't, then you know what's going to happen. So if I'm going like behind and through, okay, I'm taking the entire chain or whatever connector I'm using under the leg, okay, and I'm also putting my hand in front to ensure even if I don't, then things aren't going to happen. Okay, from the other way, okay, the whole connector is going under my leg, same as if I was going the opposite way. Okay, the entire chain or cord is going under the leg, and my hand is there to prevent any accidents. Okay, so if you want to practice those, then that's how to practice those. Just make sure you're taking the entire connector under the leg, okay, and then your hand is there to safeguard. But that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for the passes. So again, as a recap, the ones you should know now: shoulder pass, hip pass, okay, the back pass, okay, and the shoulder pass, which is that one. Okay, and now you have, of course, the opposite shoulder pass, or the reverse shoulder pass, I guess. The back pass, the X pass, or I guess the frontal X pass, and then the horizontal X pass. Alright, so that's that video for passes. That's probably all I'm going to cover with passes in this series. The next video I'll probably get into connecting the figure eights and how to move with those, so you can actually start moving with the chucks. So that'll be a decent one. And yeah, I'll see you in that one. Thanks for watching.